I am hanging in there. I'm very emotional today. I have rewritten this sermon like 4 times. And I still have absolutely no idea what I'm going to end up with. But here's what I know. From the first time I did a Mother's Day sermon, probably in 2012, something like that, I knew what I didn't want to say is, let's honor all our great mothers who took such good care of us and did wonderful things for us and made us into the beautiful human beings that we are today. Because I understand the pain of not necessarily having had that mother, right? Some of us got some of that. Some of us got a lot of that. Some of us got very little of that. Some of us are still searching for that. And some of us is all of us. All of that's true for all of us. Because we need what we need when we need it. Okay, you can give it to me later. Or you can give it to me now. Thank you. This is a picture of me and her. I will treasure this picture because I get to be sort of a surrogate, part-time, a little bit of a mother. Yeah, in this situation, long past all the babies of mine. So I know it's not going to be a sentimental sermon because some of us suffered abuse or neglect from our mothers. Probably all of us suffered some level of that. And some of us still feel victimized by our mothers. I will say, even though the sermon's not about that at some point when we're adults, we get to decide about our victimhood. We get to choose to remain victims. We get to choose how to carry that through our lives. We get to choose what our gifts are from that. I know that I was given the gift of self-reliance by not necessarily having somebody to rely on. It's not a bad gift. It has served me well in life. I've been given the gift of connection with other people whose mothering I have needed throughout my life, as a child and as an adult. I've been given the gift of independence and of self-trust. And I bet if you look closely, you will find the gifts that you have been given, whether from your earthly mother or the mothers after that. And also, as so beautifully demonstrated in that song by Cozy Sheridan, my mother's house is this whole earth, right? And we are mothered in this place. The earth mother, the goddess, and I love the fact, there's so many names for God in the Jewish tradition, and one of them is El Shaddai. And even though she talked about, Judaism is not known for its feminist history, neither is Christianity, but El Shaddai, literally translated, means the breasted one. That was a name for God to the Jews. So God as sustenance, as nurture, the breasted one, El Shaddai, the one that we can lean on, and the one that continues to nurture us even as we drain her resources. There is still that beautiful giving gift of that earth mother that provides and nurtures tangible resources, the ground we walk on, the stones under our feet, the air around us, the sun, the clouds, the rain, inspiration, beauty, poetry. All of that is from the mother. All of that is from the mother, and this interrelatedness of all things, because if we all have one mother, guess what? We're siblings, right? We're not disconnected. We're always connected when we remember that. And if that were going to be my sermon, I would probably talk to you about our personal responsibility for nurturing this Mother Earth that nurtures us, that we have to nurture that back, that we can't change all the big things, but we can certainly take responsibility for every little thing that is within our own personal purview. And we can carry around with us this idea, this feeling, this message of honoring this place rather than taking it for granted, knowing that this is the place that gives us life. And The other Mother's Day sermon is just about the divine feminine. You know, God is not a guy. God is not a gal. God is beyond sexual organs, I would say, for sure. God has all of it, all of it. And we all have all of it, regardless of what our organs of gender happen to be, regardless of what our orientation of gender happens to be. It doesn't matter. We all have all of it. And we lean sometimes more in one direction than in another. And always, we are all calling for, whether we know it or not, our life is calling for balance. We do not want only the divine feminine traits. We need them balanced by the divine masculine traits. And we'll talk about that on Father's Day, right? But this idea of receptivity, of intuition, of innate wisdom, not reason and logic, but this innate wisdom that we have. This idea of that nurturing, that tenderness, right? We don't necessarily think of tenderness when we think of the masculine energies, although I know many very tender men, but still that tenderness is a feminine energy, that welcomingness, that hospitality, that encouragement, that understanding at a deeper level beyond the level of reason. And we don't want head without heart, right? We don't want all sentimentality and no reason, no ability to discern what's really going on. Again, it's about balance, 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 balance. And so we get that within ourselves. We look for that balance within ourselves, and we look for that balance within others. But here's a part of my story from this week that I'm going to share with you, which is that Wednesday night, I really thought my husband was gone. It was that close. It was that close. And I was following the gurney down the hallway as they went to do a CAT scan to see if something had happened in his brain, because he was catatonic and we couldn't get him to respond. And there, 15 people come in the room and shove you out of the way and start doing all this work and doing this stuff. And I am not shoved easily. And so I just kept on. Like, I let them do their work, but I'm like, I'm here. But following them down the hallway for the CAT scan, I was thinking, this is it. Is it time to call the kids? Is this the day? Because this is not the day I was expecting. Do we ever get to expect the day? Not really, right? But what I noticed about myself is I was having this extremely emotional experience, and there was that witness in me that was watching myself have this extremely emotional experience. And, because I am constantly working on my own spirituality, because that's what I think I'm here to do, blah, 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 right? Because all this is going through my head. The thing that was crying out in my mind, the thing that was most primal in me was, I want my mommy. Now, here's the deal. If my actual mom had been there, she would have been driving me nuts. I would have said, get your hands off me. Her worry would have made things worse. I know this about my mom. I've been through a lot of crises with my mom, who is no longer here. So it wasn't my mommy, it was my mommy. It was whatever it is that I get to lean on for nurture, that gets to stand, as I said once in a song that I wrote, that's standing ahead of me in line so that I don't have to be the first line of defense, right? There is this idea that somebody is ahead of me. And I looked around, and there was no physical presence who was ahead of me. My mommy is long gone. The people in the room did not feel nurturing to me. They felt almost more like the enemy than anything. And so I got to watch myself. And the other thing that was crying out in me was no, 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 no. Like, no. And I've been teaching this class about how to say yes. how to say yes, how to be in acceptance. And I was thinking, what about this is there that I can accept? And what came to me very clearly is I get to be right here. I don't have to run away. I don't have to pretend it's not happening. I don't have to figure out how it's going to happen, how it's going to end, if it's going to end, when it's going to end. I get to be extremely present with this really terrible pain. And I was willing to be extremely present with that really terrible pain. And what I realized is in that moment, I was embodying the mother. That's who the mother is. And definitely I have that fierce mama bear within me, for sure. And I was embodying that, but I was also embodying the mother for me. Not just the mother from me, but the mother for me, because that's what I needed. I needed to not abandon me. I needed to not abandon myself or my situation. I need to not give in to despair. And here's the thing. We all, when I say, and I do say probably at least every Mother's Day, we all have all those energies within us. You have everything you need. And you may think that's easy for me to say because the story turned out that they were able, it's a long story, but they almost OD'd him on some opiates, so they had to give him Narcan twice to get him to respond again. So my story had a happy ending for now. For now, he's up and around, he's okay. But that experience remains with me in a very profound way, in that I know that whatever I need is given to me in the moment. It may not be what I want. It may be the thing in the world that I least want, that I most want not to happen. And yet, if I'm open, if I'm available, I'm given what I need. And so are you. So I would say a couple of things. If you feel like you haven't been mothered, or you don't have a place to go for mothering in your life, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is right now, just look around this room. Because there are people here, right now, who are ready to be that for you, who are going to show up for you in the deepest sense. I'm one of them, but I'm not the only one. And I can look around this room and know that I can receive mothering. And not just from you women. I get a lot of mothering from some of the men in this room. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. You know who you are. And so there is the mothering from me that I can give to others. There is the mothering for me that I can get from others. And I would take, looking around this room is not enough. Think about all of the teachers, the mentors, the people that you may not have even thought of as important in your life. Maybe you saw them only once in a blue moon, but somehow they had something to give you. They respected you in a certain way that made you suddenly feel respected. Or they honored a talent or an ability that you had, or encouraged you on your way in some fashion. Those are your mothers. Take advantage of them, right? Can you do that? Can you do that today, whether you still have a living mother or not? And can you know that your living mother, however she did it, at least got you here? And that was maybe her main purpose. And maybe some of the gifts that she gave were not the gifts that you wanted, but I also challenge you to find the gifts that have served you, whether they were meant that way or not. It's easy for us to go, well, yeah, maybe I got to be independent, but she didn't do that on purpose. She wasn't trying to foster independence. She was just a bad mother. You can say that. That's your choice. It's also your choice to say, what is present right now in me? What do I have? What has been given to me? Breathe that in for a moment. What has been given to me, and what is now mine to give to others? Because as we know, Course in Miracles says, to give is how to recognize that you have received. So look around at the ways that you give in your life and know that that is proof that you received. You wouldn't have it to give if you hadn't already received it. That's the beauty. It's not a chicken or egg. It's not an either or. It's a both and always. There is always more good available. When we're willing to look around for it, there's always more. So, what does this mean for me now? Now, I know that I have a higher authority. I have someone to lean on. And if you're in the room, it might be one of you. But if you're not in the room, there's still something. There's still something higher. And I wouldn't call it me, as in Melinda, with my name on it. I would call it that higher energy within me that we're all a part of, that we all have at our disposal, if we're willing to stay present to it. Because we can certainly run and hide from it. And we can certainly pretend it's not happening. And we can certainly fight against it. We have all of these choices always. But I urge you in this moment, on this Mother's Day, to, yes, celebrate whatever your plan was going to be, whether your children are taking you out or you're feeling bad because your children aren't taking you out, or whether you're taking your mother out or you're feeling bad because you no longer have a mother to take out, or if you're just disgusted by the whole Hallmark profit margin on Mother's Day. All of that's present. But again, you get to choose. Mother's Day is your day. It's my day, it's our day. This is the day that we get to celebrate that divine feminine within us, within each of us, within each of the people around us. No matter how He-Man someone is, there is the mother energy present there, and you can receive it, and you can nurture it, and you can give to it. And take a moment to honor this beautiful Mother Earth. I know, it's suffering. It's suffering. But at least it suffers more quietly than your mother probably did. Sorry. Maybe I'm talking about my mother here. And yet, it's all still here. It's all possible. It's all open. It's all available. And we have to avail ourselves of it if we want to receive the good from it. So, that was about 4 short sermons into something. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave you with that. I'm going to leave you today with, who's your mama? In any given moment, ask, who's your mama? You might be surprised at the answer. It might be a tree. It might be the wind caressing your face. It might be your dog. It might be the comfortable shoes you're wearing. Who's your mama? It might be you. And remember, there's always, as it is for you, it is there from you as well. You have it to give. So whose mama am I going to be today? How can I embody the divine feminine in ways that are nurturing to the world, to the people in it? Yeah, I think that's it. In my mother's house, who's your mama? I'm leaving you with that. I'm still a little bit, verklempt. It was a hard week. But I think what I want to do is take us into a meditation about the depth of the care that Mother Earth has available for us. So if you'll just take a moment and breathe in and remind yourself that Mother Earth isn't just this planet somewhere out there. The very breath you just breathed is Mother Earth living you. The very lungs that breathed in that breath is Mother Earth. Your body is a physical manifestation of the Earth Mother. You are not separate. We are one. Whatever the thoughts and feelings that are coming into your mind right now, are given to you by the Divine Mother and the Divine Father. That is what it is to be one with the heart of the Mother, one with the heart of the Father, one with the heart of love. And so just for a moment, as you sit here in this body, embodied, beautifully embodied, which only ever could happen because the energies of both masculine and feminine have come together beautifully in imperfect balance. And just give thanks for that for a moment. I am here. As we sang in the song earlier, I am always, I am. That I am is the eternal soul in you and me. Personal, up close, tangible, sacred and whole. And hard as it is to see sometimes, that I am is all of it. This physical universe which blesses us in so many ways with its majesty, its poetry, its beauty, its abundance, its nurturing, its ability to give us what we need in every moment. Yes, I am one with that. Claim that for yourself. And also know, and this is a lot harder, I am one with all the other embodiments of that one, including the ones of which I want to disapprove of or reject or separate myself from. Because we cannot claim the good only, we have to claim it all. And sometimes the all doesn't feel very good, but if we can learn to trust in this lifetime, through the practice of our lives, through the practice of our minds, through the practice of our hearts, through continuing to grow and to stand back and witness ourselves and our willingness to grow in these ways, we begin to see more and more clearly, maybe just a little bit at a time, but we can begin to see more and more clearly that we are not separate, that there is nothing apart from us. And so we claim the grandeur, we claim the beauty. And we claim that there is heartbreak, that we never know how it's going to manifest or when it's going to come, but we can be sure that it will, because everything that can be seen on this earth is temporary. And eternal. Only the momentary manifestations are temporary. The spirit that gives birth to it and that underlies it all the time, a spirit which I choose to call love, with no beginning and no end, is not temporal. It is absolutely eternal. And even as I face the temporary losses, or celebrate the temporary gains, I can also step back and claim I am that which is beyond loss and beyond gain. I am that which is completely holy, which means completely whole. And the more I can identify myself with that eternal wholeness, the more I am able to hold the manifestations a little more lightly. It doesn't mean we have to care less or love less. It might mean that we're able to care more and love more because we understand. To breathe into that identity of eternity if you can. That today's sunrise will be gone at evening, and yet the sun lives. That today's friends and loved ones may be gone tomorrow or next year, and yet the love, the friendship, the connection exists eternally. We are only ever asked to let go of that which is going to pass away anyway, and we are always allowed to hold on to that which is ours. And so in this moment we claim it is ours. The principle behind all manifestation is already ours, always. That word principle feels cold, so I'm just going to say the love that makes everything. Is ours. It's who we are. And so as we go forth today, I invite you to celebrate, 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 celebrate. Pay attention. And then let go. And know that there is more to be celebrated in the next moment. But we might not notice it if we're holding on tightly to the last moment. And simply breathe and hold even this thought lightly. As you allow yourself to come back to this room, to these manifestations of the mother that you see all around you. to smile and to know that there is a message from the mother, and the message is this: it'll be okay. Even if it's not what you want, it'll be okay. Because it's all love in the end. And so it is. Thank you, God. Amen.